Hey, it's Gary Kayye. We're here at ISE 2015. It's the night before the show opens. Just finished the keynote, which was awesome, by the way, and just beginning the reception. I'm here with the managing director of ISE, Integrated Systems Europe, Michael Blackman. First of all, congratulations on a great keynote.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. We've gone for a little bit different of a line this time in our keynotes and looking more for trends and people who are futurist. I think it's a new way to actually talk to our community. I think they want to get inspiration about what do we do about our business? What can we gather from this to help us make more money?
Well, Lars did a phenomenal job. We covered the keynote. You can go on ravepubs.com and read an article we just wrote about it. You must be extremely excited. I know you don't want to talk any numbers about the show, but we can all confidently say attendance will be up this year.
I guarantee attendance will be up unless we have some sort of disaster tonight. And it has to be a major disaster. But I shouldn't be touch wood.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's looking phenomenal at the moment. We've got a show that's practically sold out. I think from the 40,000 plus square meters we have available in this hall, we've only got about 200 square meters unsold, and they were just last-minute cancellations. Happens. But we're sold out. We've got a fantastic show. Over 1,000 exhibitors, 1,056 exhibitors this year. So we really have grown. I think it's exciting. We've got some new companies in there. Microsoft have come for the first time, and they've got some really interesting product launches happening at ISE. We're seeing a lot of new booths in terms of design, so it's really I'm excited.
Yeah, and a lot of the returning exhibitors took larger spaces, and even the consolidation got bigger. So, like you look at someone like AMX, who's now part of Harman. Now Harman's got a bigger presence at the show.
And I mean, I actually said a few years ago, my biggest worry about ISE is the consolidation where companies are buying each other. And you saw situations like Legrand buying Vantage and Middle Atlantic, and now Harman buying AMX. But it hasn't affected us too much. Those brands are still here. Yes, sometimes there is some consolidation, but I think this has been the Harman AMX thing was a great marriage, I think, and it fits really well to our show.
Yeah, and much expanded home AV section of your show this year, and I think that's a result of how well CEDIA did this past year.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the amount of new companies in that area as well, also exciting. I think we really have established what we want to do with this show, which is to make a platform for the systems integration industry in Europe on both residential and commercial.
Yeah, and UCC, Unified Communications, I mean, what a huge growth over the last few years. It was in that little teeny, I don't remember the hall, is it 12? Whatever, yeah. And now it's huge. It's taken up most of, what is that now, Hall 9? Yeah, it's taken up most of Hall 9. You must be extremely excited about that.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I've got a great sales team. One of the things we do look at is to see what are the trends here, which companies are coming up. And Unified Communications, we decided to actually do our we see Hall 12, where we had them last 2 years, as being our, what's the word I'm looking for? That's where we build up new sectors of the show.
Yeah, you have the smart technology stuff there now.
Exactly.
Like the smart building technology.
So that's our incubation hall. And we built up digital signage there first. When we started in that sector, built it up, and it's now a huge part. We are now the biggest digital signage show worldwide.
Even bigger than the Digital Signage Expo, interestingly.
Yeah. We have, so the next thing we did there was UC, and we saw that grow. It helped, and now it's got established in its own hall. And smart buildings, the next sector. So it works really well, but going back to Unified Communications, we put a theater in there as well. We recognize how important it is and how it's becoming really a factor that companies look into. And we said, okay, we have to focus this. We've done something else with the show this year as well, which is we try to zone. We keep getting the fact that the show's too large for everyone to get around. Yes, you need more than one day to go around this show now, but what we're trying to do is consolidate sectors to actually help our attendees to focus in one area first. If audio is more important for you, then start in Hall 7. If Unified Communications is more important, then you start in Hall 9. If it's digital signage, you start in Hall 8. But there's still lots of other digital signage to see in the rest of the show. There's still UC to see in other areas. But just trying to help our attendees focus a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, because you're right. You have companies like NEC and Samsung that are in Hall 1 and Hall 4, and yet you have the digital signage hall there. So you even have a bunch of digital signage companies that not even in that, which tells you how big that industry is. So yeah, you actually hit upon a really good point. You can't see this show in one day. You really can't even see it in 3 days. So you're going to solve that problem next year as well.
Yeah, so we're on to 4 days next year. We see on the second day of the show, it's so crowded. We still maintain the quality. We're getting people from 130 different countries, all coming to Amsterdam for these 3 days. And we, as an aspect of and responsibility for safety, we need to do something about that. So we realize now that and it's been demand from exhibitors actually coming to me and saying, when are we going to do 4 days? So we made that decision. We talked to the industry. The next stage now is to actually make the 4 days work. And we work with the exhibitors. We work with our exhibitor committee with ideas to make it work for the attendees and for the exhibitors.
Well, I'm glad it's staying here in Amsterdam. I mean, you've got a great partnership here with the city of Amsterdam and the Amsterdam RAI.
Actually, a little tidbit. Yeah. Yesterday, the RAI have started a new campaign to work with the biggest shows in the marketing industry and the trade show industry. And they've actually made me the temporary mayor of Amsterdam for the next 3 days. And the mayor of Amsterdam has said okay to it.
We have to bow to the mayor, but you're well deserved. You and your team. I'm sure you share that with your team.
Yeah.
You guys have a phenomenal team. We've been lucky to work with them for years, and they've always done phenomenal job.
Come to the press conference tomorrow, and you'll see me wearing my official chain. So to tell everybody about that. So, but it's a nice little campaign. It's nice. It's a little bit of a fun thing as well. But it's nice to be honoured by the city that. We bring a lot of business to the city, but they really help us. When you talk to the taxi drivers now, they all know what ISE is. If you talk to the hotels, they're waiting to welcome us. They know there's nothing else happening in the city at this time of the year, so we bring a lot of business here, and they're appreciative of it, and they want to look after our guests.
And timing is perfect next year because the tunnel is going to open up, right? The underground, is it going to be next year or the year after that?
I think it's it could be. Oh, no,
it's next year, isn't it?
I'm not sure if it's going to be. It will be next year, but I can't remember if it's going to be when we're here. I have to double check that.
Yeah, I feel confident that it's going to be somewhere around that time frame.
It is planned, and it should be. I'm just trying to make sure it's going to be when we're in the city, or I don't know if it's going to be just after. But obviously, it's going to make the journey to the city centre, 10 minutes, really, really easy. So we don't have these taxi queues. But
even with the taxi queues, it's not that bad, especially if you know about Uber. And then you also have free transportation to all the show hotels.
We have all the major hotels, which are on our list. We have bus service running. And you can get a free ride in the mornings coming to the show and in the evenings going back. So we take care of that too.
Yeah, it's great. Well, first, as I said, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've done a phenomenal job. Your team is great. The venue is great, and I'm excited about it being 4 days. But we got to focus on this year's show, which is only 3 days. We got a lot of work to do in only 3 days, and we're excited to be here. We've got a good team here. Over 20 people that are going to cover the show this year, so we're excited. This is the biggest group we've ever brought to Amsterdam as well for ISE.
And what I actually like about your guys, I recognize them straight away walking around the hall, and I think that's such a clever marketing move. So
well, we like the way it makes it easier for us to find them too. We're all dressed alike.
This is nice, better than the t-shirts, the polo shirts you had before when it's warm.
Well, we do have the polo shirts under here, but unfortunately, you haven't turned on the heat yet, so we're having to wear jackets. So I'm having to wear. But no, the food was great tonight, and I really appreciate the invitation. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks for I know that on the behalf of the industry, thanks for everything your team has done, because this has become the biggest AV show in the world.
Thank you. I mean, we appreciate the industry for the support we get from both exhibitors and attendees. And I say to everyone, welcome to ISE. Look forward to seeing you here. If you see me in the aisle, say hi. Little plug, we have a great app this year. I don't know if you've seen it yet and tried it. Download it. It's a great networking tool. It's a great way to get around the show. We have so much on offer and so much here that we want to make sure that everyone has an easy and relaxed trip to the show.
Yeah, and they will. And again, thanks for joining us. All you got to do is, if there's any manufacturer and you're interested in any product, if we've shot a video on it yet, then it'll be on our video search window. Just type in the name of the manufacturer. If we haven't, come back to ravepubs.com, because we will eventually shoot a video of every company who's exhibiting here and give everybody an opportunity to promote their products. Mike Blackman, thank you very much.
Gary,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you, and hopefully you'll join me at the end of the show and give me some numbers and tell us how the show went for you.
We've got an appointment for Thursday, so we'll do that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you very much for watching, and keep watching, because we got a lot of products to cover here. It's just the night before the show, and it all starts tomorrow morning. This is Gary Kayye. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching.